This is an update to one of my previous videos where I changed the purge valve solenoid on my Silverado pickup. I had driven it by now about 700 miles, and the check engine light came back with the same code, P0442 small evap leak. So I did a little more digging, and I found that many times these are bad from the factory. So to test them, you need your valve off the truck and a vacuum pump. Handheld vacuum pump works fine. You get these from Advance or AutoZone. They're cheap. And you have to plug the vacuum hose into the end that goes into or connects to the intake. And on the Silverado, this just plops right down on top of the intake. So this is the intake side, and this is the line that runs down to the evap canister down near the gas tank. So this should hold pressure if we plug, and this is the one off the truck, if we plug the vacuum hose into the intake side and we pump it up, it should hold pressure. We pump it up to about 17 psi, and as you guys can see, it's holding. But the code is for a small leak. So we're going to set this on the table for a little while, and it's right at 17 psi now. We'll give it a little bit of time, and we'll come back and we'll see if it leaked down at all. It has been almost 10 minutes, 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and this has dropped down to about 11.5 psi. And I actually did this twice, because the first time that I had checked on it, it was about 5 minutes in, and it dropped down to about 12 or 13 psi. So I made sure everything was tight and secure, reset the timer. Now we're about 10 minutes, and it's down to, like I said, 11.5 psi. It's not holding vacuum. It's, by definition, a small leak. Is it a leak aggressive enough? Is it a leak aggressive enough to cause a P0442 code? I don't know. Is it a bad enough leak that it's going to affect the the sensors? I don't know. But I've got 3 more purge valves. They got from Amazon, various sellers and various prices. So I'll plug one of those in, run the same test. We'll do it for, right now it's 10 minutes and 40 seconds, and it's down to 11 psi, so it's still dropping. So we'll do that same test with one of these, and we'll see what happens. Stuff that in there nice and tight. Pump this up to 17 on the nose, or as close as we can get. That's about right. And we will reset the stopwatch. We'll check back in about 10 minutes. It's been almost 15 minutes now, 14 minutes, 33 seconds, and the PSI loss has been negligible. Also forgot to mention, we've got Magic Hat number 9 cheering us on today. Fresh out of the kegerator. So almost 15 minutes, and we've dropped half PSI, so it's 16.5. I would say that's negligible. I would say that is no leak. Half a PSI over 15 minutes versus 5.5, 6 PSI over 9 minutes. I would say this is a successful test. I'd say the one that was in there is junk or close to junk. So we're gonna plug this one in its place, drive it for 500 miles or so, and see what happens. I can look at the scan tool and see when the evap monitors come online, and if those come online and there's no check engine light, then I think we got ourselves a real fix. Stay tuned for that. By now I've put 230.3 miles on the truck since I replaced the replacement purge valve. And I plugged the scanner in, and the evap system monitor, the first on the list there, is reading as okay, which means that the evap monitor is ready, it's active, and we do not have a check engine light. So it looks like this replacement of the replacement finally worked, and the problem seems to be fixed. Moral of the story, kids, test your parts. Thanks for watching.